is the Warlock Master in a Golden Pass 6.2.2. Think of them as Ikit's mini-me's. The runners-up, but still very useful not just in this faction, where they are especially notable, but to others as well. Let's go over the details at both low and high rank, so you understand where to send your precious, lower drop rate, higher quality items. Recruited for a nominal 1000 gold and 250 upkeep, on Ultra Scale, the Warlock Master arrives at 3920 health. Armor is a very healthy 90, which is difficult to find on casters this side of Vampire Lords. Missile resistance is the standard 15%, leadership of 60 is middling at best, speed 42 and charge speed 48 are pretty nimble. Melee attack begins at 40, but is magical attack, while on foot, something of note when tangling with Belagar's ethereal heroes. Attack interval is the box standard 4, splash target size medium, so regular cavalry on down, max target splash is 4. That suggests a healthy weapon strength. Melee defense begins at 52, pretty good. Weapon strength 350 is split base 105 and armor piercing 245, with a bonus versus infantry of an astoundingly massive 25. Again, remember, this is against ethereal heroes too. It's specialized, but wow, is that impressive. Charge bonus is 18 and mass is a teeny tiny 250. The Lord can hide in forest and has the scurry away mechanic when routing. On a Doom-flayer, especially relevant for playing Clan Scryer, and thus upgrading this with the Forbidden Workshop. Health revs up to 928, armor is now 100, speed 72, charge speed 98. Melee attack begins at 35 and is no longer magical attack without some kind of external support like items. We'll get back to that. Attack interval 4, very large splash target size, so it's being diluted by anything that's not a single entity / character, since Sisters of Twilight exist, and max target's damage still 4. Melee defense slides to 32, weapon strength lowers to 270, split base 95, and armor piercing 175. So, what do you get here besides more health and mobility? Bonus versus infantry is 35 without further upgrades. Charge bonus jacks up to 55, and mass rises to 1500. Also, Doom-flayers basically function as small chariots, so collision attacks should occur. While unable to hide in forest any longer, the Lord can scurry away and does get, just like the unit, the best defense for plus 24 armor while in melee, making him a very tough customer to deal with without armor piercing in large quantities, especially because the mount is one of the smaller machine mounts in existence, and good luck trying to hit it while it's in spin to win mode. On a Doomwheel, health is supersized to 6,420, armor is 100, speed 72 and charge speed 98 like before. Melee attack a mere 26, attack interval slips to 4.3, very large splash target size, so lots of dilution possible, max target splash of 6. That's higher. Melee defense 37, weapon strength comes at 400, split base 150, and armor piercing 250, with a bonus versus infantry of 30. Charge bonus is 50, and mass is 2000. I've shown in my main unit video how well it charges through regular infantry. Mileage will vary against bulkier troops like Chaos Warriors. The workshop will help this out too. On the Doomwheel, the Warlock Master inflicts both fear and terror. In none of these forms does the Warlock Master constitute a siege attacker. Since this is at minimum the first Skaven lore video I've done in a while, let's go over the blue line skills. Root Marcher is the old standard plus 5% movement range. Looter is plus 50% money from loot and occupy a settlement. Ancient Cunning at 1 pip is plus 6% ambush success chance, 2 pips plus 16%, 3 pips plus 30%. If you're going to go this route, grab all 3 and hope that the Lord makes good use of it. Bonded Service can affect recruitment cost a full minus 15% at 3 pips, and this last is a choice that's mutually exclusive, Corruption minus 3, or Skaven Corruption plus 3. The former can help root out hostile corruption a lot faster, but they changed how corruption operates. Sure, you'd like low Skaven corruption, but achieving that is very hard in a province you own more than one settlement in, provided it's a multi-settlement place. Draftmaster gives recruit rank +1 for own army and increases local recruitment capacity by 1 slot. This can be really crucial in special one settlement provinces because normally you get more from more settlement buildings, so having just one settlement, even if Skaven Blight, cripples your slots. Lightning Strike provides the same usual benefits of delaying reinforcements and allowing blocking off reinforcements altogether at the cost of a lot of friendly side fatigue. Quartermaster reduces upkeep by 10%. Some races only get -9% for something similar. We take what we can. That's a very Skaven thing. Wary reduces enemy hero success chance 15% at 3 pips, and ambush defense chance plus 30% for the same. Mine All Mine increases item stealing chance 15% and post-battle loot plus 30%, which can be very interesting because usually you need to be Grimgore to get that kind of bonus. And Respected and Feared is -8% upkeep, movement range an additional plus 5%, hero success chance -10% against you, plus 25% chance of wounding hero aggressors, and plus 1 extra recruit rank for 2 total since the midway pip is mandatory. This is cumulative with what other blue line choices you made. While really good, this is hard to justify on a Warlock Master until high level, past Ancient Cunning at least, because there are a lot of other priorities, but do what you want. For the magic line, it's straight up Spells of Ruin up to including actually having a normal, plain vanilla, Arcane Conduit skill at the end, because Warlock Engineers do not. And Ikit has something special going on. I've done a video on the lore by this point, one I had to redo, whatever. So this is important, it's a big part of the kit, but we'll move on to the parts not covered elsewhere. In the top line, Sneaky and Tricksy are your 1 pip, 10% missile, and spell resistance support pips, same as usual. Moving on. The Warlock Engineer has a mini melee line as follows. Tail weapon featured on many characters is 1 pip for plus 3 melee attack and plus 4% weapon strength, but if you remember the stat breakdown, every pip of base melee attack is precious on this character on those mounts. 1 pip in augmented weapon provides melee attack plus 7, remember what I just said, provides magical attack even on the mounts, which is a big deal. And weapon strength plus 5%, so good for ethereal unit bashing. Now 2 pips provides a total of plus 15 melee attack, the aforementioned magical attacks, and weapon strength plus 10%. That's kind of crazy. So this is a hybrid caster melee lord. Scarred Veteran provides plus 15% hit points at 2 pips, and that's even better on the mounts with more health to boost. 2 pips of Warpforged armor provide plus 30 armor and 10% missile resistance, stacking with everything else we've discussed. 1 pip of Fear Suppression Stimuli provides leadership plus 8 for the Lord, but 2 pips raises it to plus 15 leadership for him, and plus 5 bonus leadership aura effect for those around him, on top of the 3 default and the 5 from the first redline pip. This is before any potential traits adding further. In the very personal line, available at rank 10, there is a solo dead end pip and then the start of the real line. The solo pip is power overload for a simple -10% cooldown to ruin spells for him. This is cumulative with any other source, including extra pips in his own spells. Remember, he's a lord, so his magic line requires fewer pips to master. Specimen Collection grants casualty replenishment plus 9% for his own army and -2 control for the enemy province just from his mere presence. The former is really, really good. The latter is a nice bonus, but replenishment tends to be a painful issue. The next 3 pips are mutually exclusive, though Ikit can cheat where this is concerned. Vehicle Engineer means recruit rank plus 1 for Doom-flayers and Doom-wheels, and recruiting them in 1 less turn, which is a very, very big deal for spamming them. Weapons Engineer provides -15% to Warpfire throwers, Rattling guns, and Warplock Jezzails in his army, cumulative with any blue line help. Construction Engineer provides -15% building cost in local region and -15% in local province. I presume that's stats. This could be very, very interesting for expanding your surface empire. I don't know if Under Empire is affected. I mean, what are your other options? Constructor Lord trait under Empire strip mines at -3% a pop? So this is a big bonus. Finally, Brass Orb gives 2 uses of Iket's signature personal blob Punisher, 90-second cooldown, 200-meter range, 12-meter radius, 3-second wind up, and 13-second duration. Of course, it's 13 seconds, of course. It says here 4 damage per second, 100% armor piercing and magical attack, so for softening up Chaos Warriors and Greatswords and White Lions and stuff, it's quite good. And best of all, you can't beat the Winds of Magic cost of free. So how do we use the Warlock Master? This is a rare bird in the game, a hybrid magical melee lord with some very serious upgrades in both areas. I mean, even though he comes at you basically as a caster at first, he's not a vampire lord, but still, this is pretty heavy on the hybrid side. The lord on foot and on both mounts being specialized as anti-infantry, with a lord that is mostly used to similar effect except a single buff spell, a debuffing passive, a net spell for flying units that can be catastrophic to flying lords, and obviously, Flensing Ruin brings a lot of power to an army. But his only direct way of increasing the performance of particular kinds of units is his redline skills and Death Frenzy if melee units, and you'd think his best units will be weapons teams ones. It's a very nasty surprise on Rat Ogres though. So while for tactical reasons you might have to hold him back, in the main, he wants to be at the front of the battle using his superior armor and his easily buffed personal combat prowess, and is kinda weirdly top tier for a hybrid generic caster anti-infantry abilities, and really mop the floor with stuff in front of him. The mounts just add more mobility to this. He can create his own blobs and punish them with spells too, and this is even easier and better with the Forbidden Workshop. It's also not exactly bad with other factions, since that's their main route to Doom-flayer spam, and flares, even base form, are just better than they were in the past. There's a lot of pulling on the Warlock Master to drag him in different directions, but I expect he'll make aggressive use of the new magic item system. Just remember that he will never ever natively have anti-large, so if you want that, send the chieftain his way. You need a firm grasp of his strengths and how to use him to efficiently target enemy forces, but with a few weapons teams for support and general Skaven tactics, you should be alright. Take care and have fun bringing the pain through extravagant and evil contraptions.